Thank you so much for inviting me to join all of you today in this very important announcement. It's truly a commentary by itself that members from different parties, from upstate, downstate, would come together and be a unified voice on this issue. Senator Griffo, thank you for your leadership and the work that you're doing for all of us in Central New York. Assemblyman Member Wright, thank you, Keith Wright, for your friendship, decades of support for Native people in Central New York. You continue to be a strong force for equality for all New Yorkers. Senator Maziarz, thank you for your leadership and all that you're doing through your committee to encourage mutual respect, compassion, and understanding between Native Americans in New York State. Over and over, you've shown how much more we can accomplish as a people and a state when we work together in good faith for the greater good. And Assemblyman Kareem Kamara, thank you so much to the entire Black, Puerto Rican, Asian caucus for your unwavering leadership in helping New York become a national model for the country when it comes to mutual respect and justice for all. There are many reasons why today's announcement is so important and significant. In part, we are saying that leagues like the NFL, a $9 billion a year business, are among the most powerful cultural forces in America, possibly the world, that with such great power comes great responsibility. In this case, responsibility to honor the ideals of mutual respect. That's not happening right now. For many people, their most direct contact with the very idea of a Native American and their culture is a Washington team's name. On billboards, on T-shirts, on hats, on countless TV screens every week. Millions of people only see Native Americans as mascots and only see us referred to by the alleged color of our skin. In part, today's announcement is important because we are declaring that professional sports organizations that receive massive public subsidies should not be profiting off the use of racial slurs. In part, today's announcement is significant because we are legislatively backing what decades of social science research has already told us. It has told us that slurs like the R word, according to public health experts, continue to have negative cultural, psychological, and social effects on minority communities. Native Americans suffer from the highest suicide rates, infant mortality rates, and lowest life expectancy, to name just a few. But the most significant part of today is that this resolution signifies that New York is making a statement that it wants to stand on the right side of history, and that we understand how important state legislatures have been to previous movements against pathologies like bigotry and inequality. When we read about this nation's past, it is quite obvious what the phrase right side of history means. We know, for example, that abolitionists, women's rights organizers, and civil rights activists were on the right side of history. And quite often we feel a sense of disbelief and disgust that in bygone days so many stood on the wrong side of history for so long. In the moment, though, there are always defenders of the status quo, trying to obscure what is the right side, what the right side actually is. They often depict bigotry and inequality as a natural, immutable order, and worse, they condescendingly pretend that denigrating entire demographic groups is somehow beneficial to those people and to those groups. We know that the civil rights groups, public health organizations, sports icons, news organizations, Republican and Democratic members of Congress, and now Republican and Democratic members of the New York State Legislature are all correct when they stand on the right side of history by calling for an end of the use of dictionary-defined slurs as mascots. We also know that speaking out to end an injustice is never easy. It wasn't easy for those heroes who came before us. For example, it wasn't easy for the state legislatures who stood with the civil rights movement and against segregation. But that is why we look at these members standing here today with such respect, because they are standing up and using their platform for a just and moral cause. New York is my home. It's our home. The Oneida people have been here since time immemorial, and we will be here until the end of time. We have watched and been a part of many aspects of this state's history, both the good and the bad. And we are proud to be located in a state that has become a model for promoting inclusivity and mutual respect, as evidenced by today's announcement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ray.